Did you know that most dogs and cats receive well over a dozen vaccines before they reach adulthood? Most puppies receive their first vaccination between 5 and 7 weeks of age, then every 2 to 3 weeks until they are 16 weeks old. These are combination vaccines, which can contain up to 5 different attenuated viruses in one syringe, given 3 times before the puppy is 16 weeks of age. That's 15 vaccines before 4 months of age. Then puppies are given rabies vaccine, plus kennel cough, and lepto and Lyme vaccines, and, depending on risk, the influenza vaccine. That's over 18 vaccines in a span of 3 months. Kittens, on the other hand, receive 14 to 19 vaccines. The first vaccination, when a kitty is 6 or 7 weeks old, is 3 or 4 shots that are usually combined into one syringe. In a span of just 2 months, they receive another 9 or 10 vaccines. And at 16 to 19 weeks of age, they may receive another 4 to 5 shots depending on their environmental risk. You may be asking yourself, are all these vaccines even necessary? And if so, are there any risks? Dr. Ronald Schultz, an expert on companion animal vaccines, said that there is little to no scientific studies that show the need for revaccination in a dog or cat in their lifetime. One well-timed shot for your pet can be enough to protect him for his life. But why all the pressure from veterinarians to revaccinate annually? Well, let's look back on where those recommendations actually came from. In the 1970s, vaccines sold in the market were licensed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. These vaccines were made based on studies that lasted only a few weeks to a few months. No one actually studied how long the vaccines would last, and vaccine makers didn't bother assessing duration of immunity because these tests were expensive and would take years to complete. So it was arbitrarily decided that annual revaccination would be the standard in veterinary medicine. This decision was not rooted in science. It was rooted in a guess, which quickly became a mainstay of generating at least one guaranteed annual vet visit for the veterinarian, hidden under the mask of the annual wellness exam. In 1978, Dr. Schultz and his colleagues released a study that recommended puppies and kittens be revaccinated every 3 years instead of every year. But this recommendation wasn't fully recognized until 2003, when a task force assembled by the American Animal Hospital Association gauged their findings. Although the American Animal Hospital Association noted that some vaccines protected pets for at least 7 years, they needed to strike a compromise with practicing veterinarians who were very fearful that they would lose clients if vaccine protocols were reduced. The American Animal Hospital Association's final recommendations were that owners should have their pets revaccinated every 3 years. Sadly, this 3-year recommendation is still not rooted in science, and even more frustrating, is still not followed by many veterinarians today. By 2020, the veterinary vaccine market is expected to expand to $7 million. And as manufacturers release new vaccines in the market, we can assume that there will be more pressure to vaccinate, not less, from the medical community. But revaccination can lead to over-vaccination, exposing your pets to harmful substances and increasing his risk for deadly diseases such as cancer, autoimmune diseases, and life-threatening vaccine reactions. Currently, 1 in 2 dogs and 1 in 3 cats in the U.S. die from cancer, a statistic that didn't exist 40 years ago. So why do people over-vaccinate their pets? There are 3 possible reasons. One is lack of awareness due to the influence of advertisements, vaccine laws, and outdated vet recommendations. Second, many kennels and pet boarding facilities do not accept titered pets. And finally, many pet owners have little to no knowledge about healthier alternatives, such as titer testing. Take Jake, for instance. He brings his dog Fido to the vet for a vaccination instead of a wellness and titer checkup. This has become the norm for pet owners, since they erroneously believe that the more vaccine a pet gets, the healthier the pet will be. But vaccinations aren't like gas tanks, where over time your pet's immunity runs low and then eventually runs out, where they're unprotected. Your pet doesn't magically run out of their vaccinations on a 1 or 3 year basis. And the exciting news, you can actually check your pet's immune response to vaccines with a simple blood draw called a titer test. If your pet has any titer, no matter how low the titer is, they are considered actively immunized. This is excellent news for people who are looking to know that their pets are protected without giving unnecessary additional vaccines. I don't call this holistic medicine, I call this common sense medicine. and something all veterinarians should be doing. What Jake didn't know was that he can offer common sense medicine to Fido by partnering with an integrative veterinarian. Then vet visits can truly become wellness visits. Wellness medicine focuses on preventing disease beforehand instead of treating it when it strikes. Most conventional vets are not taught this type of medicine in school. Instead, they learn reactive medicine, or identifying and treating degenerative disease and illness once they have occurred. This is why proactive veterinary medicine is a foreign concept among many vets and, in turn, most pet owners. In this one vaccine example alone, pet owners and veterinarians could work together and spark a change in the way that pets are protected from illnesses. Eliminating unnecessary immune-compromising vaccines is just one of the many ways proactive veterinarians work to identify lifestyle obstacles before disease occurs. If you don't know any wellness veterinarians, check out the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association's Find a Holistic Veterinarian page. You can also visit our website, healthypets.mercola.com, for tips on how to take care of your pet as well. They deserve nothing less than the very best.